What up, guys and girls? Welcome to another YouTube tutorial for the Making Beats for Fun series. This will be a quick breakdown on making a trap beat. We're going to be using 4-bar loop ideas to build on our tracks. You can expand it to 8 bars or make a whole track out of it. I'll be using a lot of loops and samples. This time I've covered on my previous tutorial I bought from a website called modernproducers.com. Bought a couple of kits, and this is just to get our ideas out across. If you need to record vocals, freestyle, and just pretty much a couple of sounds, and then the drum loops from the kits. So yep, let's begin. So we're going to be doing trap music, usually tempo anything from 110 to 160 BPM. I've got pluck sound, usually bell sounds, arps. We kind of have to build on our tracks and layer them up. So in this instance, it's the loops from the kits. So I'm just gonna mute the other ones. So yep, it's part of a kit called Digital Warfare Volume 1, and then you can see it's the BPM shows 130. It's the wave loops, so it's a 4-bar loop. So if I just preview it on the kick, this is just a kick. So instead of you making the drum pattern, we can just put it together and then build just our melody. So I've got a 4-bar loop from 1 to 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. I'll show you how to start it again. So main thing to do is to choose your tempo. So I've chosen it as 130 BPM. Click on the plus sign over here. Okay, and then just click once on your step editor, and then it creates a pattern. And then over here, the pattern length, you can drag with the mouse, say from 5 to 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. And now we need to build on our track. So the easier way to do it in Machine, I'm not going to use the hardware, just the software for now. So these are my loops. You just drag it across onto your step editor over here. So that's my kick loop. One easier way, just to double tap, and it draws a little kind of pattern for you. So you don't need to drag it across from 5 to 9. You can just double tap on the first block, and yeah, once I start, press the play button. So that's my kick loop. I can go into my mixer, which is this button over here, my mixer section, and you can see I've got the sound selected. So whatever I add any effects or manipulate the individual sound, it will affect that particular sound. So if I press the plus sign and add a reverb or compressor, it will only affect that particular sound. But what I want to do, so let me add the snare as well. So that's the snare loop. Just drag it across over here, double tap, double click. So now it's playing the snare loop. The same with the hi-hat, so just drag it across to sound number 3. So we see we are building up on our track, layering up the different sounds. I've gone to the master over here and go to a mixer again. So I've added a compressor and a limiter. This will affect all the sounds in the different groups. So go back again to your editor. And what else? So I've added, there's another atmosphere loop on there, which I dragged across just to give it a bit of vibrance to the track. So you can see we're building up our track. Okay, and the last sound from the kit was a 808 loop. So again, I'm just double clicking and it adds a sound to this particular group. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sounds in this group. It's 130 BPM. This already can build up on your freestyle if you want to rap, but now we want to just add a couple of sounds in there. So usually with trap music you have bell sounds, you got ops, you got all different types of sound. So in my one I've used a sound called from the Absinthe VST. It's called Astral Signs. So whatever software you're using, if you're using Fruity Loops, Reason, Logic, you can either go into your library of that particular software and just search for maybe a bell sound, or if you want to search for ARP sound. There's a whole array of options that's given to you by the software. So I'm using Maschine Native Instruments, and I'm using the Complete 10, which is part of the whole bundle. So this is the pluck sound. So I'm just playing a very basic pattern with the pluck sound. So I haven't added any effects or anything to it. So I'm playing, these are the keys. So just over here you can see the keys. I'm playing it on the machine pad hardware. Okay, so just go back to the beginning. Yep, so we're gonna layer that sound again with another sound. I've used the massive VST for this particular sound. It's called Blue Lagoon, and this is what it sounds like. Oh, sorry, it's muted. Okay, so this particular sound I've added a reverb and a beat delay, and together with the first pluck sound. Yep, so just a quick 4-bar loop idea that can be turned into a whole track. So what I'll do, just remove that scene, and if I have this scene, I can go into my machine hardware and I can click on the scene button, and just above it there's a duplicate button, and it duplicates the 4-bar loop. Okay, and don't forget the gray area, this is what will be looped, so it's going to loop from 13 to 17. So let's go all the way to the beginning, drag that to 1, and let's just switch it up a bit. So I think the first one for the intro can remove pattern 1. For second scene, what I'll do is the drum pattern. Okay, let's delete that, so we can click on the first pattern, and then on our machine hardware we can press the shift and copy button, and then move your cursor to bar number 5, and then you can go shift and paste, So it's copied the pattern from here, but what I want to do in the first scene, the first pattern, what I'll do is remove the, let's remove the 808, and I think remove the kicks and the snares. Okay, so when I press play now, okay, so just the hi-hats and the atmosphere, and then it drops into the kick snares and the 808s. And then the third pattern of the drums, it goes back to that as well again, because I've deleted the drums, kicks and snares in the first pattern. So what I'll do in the second pattern, I'll delete the second pluck again. That part, delete drum loop, and because we copied that particular pattern, I'm going to paste it in the 9th bar. So shift and paste on your hardware, and then change the length pattern to 4 bars. The same goes for the 4th scene as well. So right click, delete it, and then on your hardware, shift and paste. Just change that to 4 bars. Just drag that up. And delete the first block. And yep, so again, track is building up. Money, money, money. I got money. Cash, money, money. I'm just a beat maker trying to make it to the top. Freestyle fanatic, all I got. Right, so I think that's about it. So we started off with 4 bars. We're building up on our track, maybe cheating a bit using loops, but if you kind of don't have the proper drum sounds and don't want to make your own drum beat, why not use loops, and then just add to the track with layers, add ARP sounds, plucks, bells, and yeah, your mixer section as well. Don't forget to add a bit of compression, limiting, and then just make it a song. That's all. 130 BPM for trap. 1, 2, pretty much 3 sounds. Those are drums and pluck sound and pluck 2. And I think that's about it. I'll try and make more 4-bar loop ideas. Maybe the next one will be a more of a hip-hop boom bap, and see how it goes. Just have fun with music, enjoy it, get your stuff out there. If you're a beat maker, if you're a super producer, then it means you can make your own sounds. You're a sound designer, you have to mix and master your own tracks, arrange them. But a lot of people are just starting out. They just want to get a quick beat together and record their vocals on the mic. So yeah, that's me, making beats for fun with M on the beat.